Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day with the fan on in the window, with fans on out in the hall, with the shirt on, too cold, well, too warm, too cold, all at the same time. Thumbs up. Only supposed to be in the 80s today, so... Well, with the window open and the fans on in the bedroom and the fan on in the hallway, and I'm going to prop the door open later on and have the fan on in there. Oh, there's going to be a lot of airflow, thank goodness. Oh, it has been so warm of late. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, let me turn off my Bluetooth speaker because...
Power off.
Otherwise, you just have to charge it up way too much. Thumbs up for that. It is a brand new day, a Sunday, and oh my gosh, it just, once again, just like yesterday, not down here where my nerve had been severed before, not down here where my ulnar nerve is, it is a little line of fire underneath there, but up here in the actual muscle body, not where the nerves are running through, this part feels like I've been punched. Just hard. Not full strength, not with a hammer, just somebody punched me. Yay? So that's fun. And I'm trying to stay centered and it's not really working. I hate asymmetry, except when I want it. And so I try to be symmetrical and it just drives me nuts. Anyway, though, thumbs up for that. So I'm going to be taking it careful with my arm and trying to do my best. And I tried for a very, very short amount of time last night to sleep on my right side because I was just so sore on my left. But my shoulder is pushed so far forward and this arm is not doing great. So I was on there for like 3 or 4 minutes before I went, you know what, just to be smart. And then back over onto my other side. So, yay. Boy, that's really, it's driving the nerves nuts right there through here. Gotta love that. Yay, so it is affecting the radial nerve and all that. Joy, oh joy. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts all day. Well, or at least while I'm recording, about not being symmetrical and leaning every direction. Yay! Past that, yeah, yesterday was a very, very hot day. I did not go walkies until like 7:30-ish. Well, 7:30, something along those lines. And then I walked all the way up to Walmart, all the way back. I didn't really buy anything except for just, I think it was a bag of candy, and then walked all the way back. Because the point wasn't to go there and purchase anything. It was to go there just to get the exercise and then walk back. So thumbs up for that. And, already I am feeling too warm again. So let me pull these up. Just as a really weird aside, I've mentioned before it's hard to see because of the bleaching out with the light up above. But it's really kind of funny when I'm out in the sun because my fingers, because of the way I grab hold of my walker, largely it's been because of the walker that it comes out this way, my fingers are very pink and pale. And then back here it's really dark, and then it goes less and less dark until we're up to pale up again here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's pretty blinding white. But my fingers are pale, and my upper arms are pale, and everything else is dark in between. So, skin cancer for the win. I don't know that I am ever going to get skin cancer. Hopefully not. My grandfather used to get a lot, but he used to be out in the sun a lot too. Yay. Past that, I am surviving. Been trying to think as best as I can about various creative things. And while I don't have a lot over here on my list, just a few things, there's one big thing that I wanted to talk about that has to do with the creative setting. Somebody in comments, I can't remember where it was, if they're even here, but I can't remember where it was, but, well, in fact, it was right there. Once I said, I can't find it. Somebody says, why do all your stories involve humans being eaten? That's kind of morbid. Not all of my stories involve people being eaten. Just a large portion of them. It's just become a representation of the settings that I have. Because I've mentioned it before, we forget how dangerous and scary the world is because we have made it safe, but it's not really. It is still crazy and dangerous, it's just that we have tamed such a large part of it. But you go out into the wild, or you go out into the one of very few places that are still wild. You go into places that have got a lighter touch of people, and it is wildly dangerous for people and animals and everything. It is resource competition. And just because we've conquered the world here doesn't mean that we would conquer the world in any other setting, especially if it is an unending, untamable frontier. So, out here, it is dangerous. People occasionally get eaten, but largely not. It's like you go fall off rocks or you get largely hurt by accident, although people do get eaten by like lions occasionally, or tigers in zoos, or out if they're poachers. I mean, it happens. People do get eaten. On the inside, there's the not many people get eaten here, and then the huge amount of people that get eaten on the razor's edge, and then it's right about here or in the middle on the inside where things are just a little bit more stable than on the razor's edge. But the razor's edge itself, like every razor's edge, is a transition point, is just wild, insane, incredibly dangerous. The people that live on razor's edges, like in the Apple Rock razor's edge of this setting here, they live there because they are either thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies themselves, the people that immigrate from out here to the razor's edge, or from the inside to the razor's edge, or they are the descendants of thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. They live there because they like it. Yeah, it's incredibly dangerous. On the razor's edge, on the inside, being eaten is usually in the top 15 causes of death. On the razor's edge, it's always in the top 5, and sometimes it's in the top, it's in the top 10, sometimes in the top 5, and sometimes during bad years in the top 3. It's just an unending, untamable frontier. Now, there are very few things that actively seek out and hunt human beings, both on the inside or the razor's edge. We are largely just opportunity prey, because big things need a lot of calories. There's only 125,000 calories in a human being. While that's a lot relative to us, for larger animals, it's not. That's why in movies like Jurassic Park, having the T-Rex chase after people, it wouldn't happen. It would be expending more calories to chase us and eat us than it would get by eating us. Now, which is not to say that they're not going to be opportunity predators, because if we're close by and you don't have to expend a lot of energy to chow on us, you'd be foolish not to. Again, 125,000 calories. You expend like 1,000 or 2,000 to get 125,000 in. Yeah, that's a pretty worthwhile investment of energy. But on the whole, we're just stray bits of protein that happen to be snapped up on the way to other places. There are some human predators for humans on the razor's edge that are specifically for human beings, but on the whole, one of the reasons that people get eaten and killed so often on the razor's edge is because we're everywhere on the razor's edge. If you are everywhere, things are going to happen to get you hurt. You may have a big predator here, and big predator here, and big predator here, and big predator here, and no other large major predators there. But if we're everywhere, we're getting taken out by all the predators, not just the big ones and the small ones. They're everywhere. That's why human beings are the most commonly eaten meat animal on the razor's edge. We are everywhere. And so, because we are everywhere, opportunity prey, opportunity predator. Now again, there are some creatures on the razor's edge that are specifically designed to eat human beings, to hunt. But these are largely creatures that are unpleasant. Like, there's two types of doppelganger. One type of doppelganger that happens on the razor's edge, I have written about. One of my characters is a doppelganger. They live in Apple Rock, and they are so affected by just their general age, having been pretending to be human for so long, and then being affected by the gas that's emitted by the kaiju, they are fully human at this point. They are a type of doppelganger that they are minor shapeshifters. They pretend to be people, and they feed on people from that safety. But as these creatures get older, they stop being so predatory and start looking at the human beings around them as more neighbors and less food. But you have to get well over 100 years old. The doppelganger I write about, we'll talk about, Henrik Ibden, has married Issa Ibden, and she has fallen in love with the man, not the monster. And he is the type of doppelganger that he has spent the last 30 or some odd years chipping away at the monster, leaving just the man underneath. He's not a human being, but he is a man. And then there's the type of doppelganger that even that kind of doppelganger hates. These are the kind that'll crawl up, they will find you, and they will crawl into your body through some of the various orifices, and then eat you from the inside and wear your skin, and then use that opportunity to feed on others. Yeah, everybody hates that kind, even the type of doppelganger that Henrik Ibden is. They do not like those kinds. But it is crazy dangerous. There is the sheriff of Tenasket Valley, who starts off he's born in the town of Aqualach. He travels to the Razor's Edge, Apple Rock, where he goes to the community college there. While he is there, Apple Rock is about as stable and as safe as you can get, but nothing is ever perfectly safe. While he's going to the community college, going through the community housing, he hears some wet and sloppy sounds coming from his housemate's bedroom. It's not a happy and friendly wet and sloppy sound. So when he takes a peek, yeah, his housemate is half eaten. Something had followed the glamours into his bedroom for a bit of food. It was hungry, and, well, not his housemate. You don't panic or freak out or look upon that as horrific. You just try to scare away whatever it was so that you don't get eaten. But once he scared it away, his housemate was half eaten in the bedroom. Well, what can you do? He just went to bed for the rest of the night, had contacted the authorities. The next day they came in to clean up the place, and he just continued going to school. Not a big deal. You just tell your other schoolmates that, oh yeah, you got eaten last night. And then boom, boom, everyone just keeps on going, because that sort of thing happens. So yeah, it's crazy dangerous on the Razor's Edge. And why does the kaiju itself eat human beings? Unfortunately for it loathes and despises us, having come from a previous universe where it should have burned into ash like the rest of the creatures in its universe, but didn't. It was starving to death when it first came into the Razor's Edge, not knowing what had happened to it or why. It was starving. The only thing that will feed it and keep it from dying is human meat. So yeah, the kaiju hates us thoroughly, because the entirety of its universe burned to ash, and then the ash of its universe and everyone who lived in it used to form the normal matter of the razor's edge. And it hates people, and it further hates us because it is dependent on us for its own survival. So yeah, at the end of 1.78 billion years, it has to grow fat from having eaten so many people. It has to stuff its internal organs from beginning to end with human meat so that it can live through a 1 billion year torpor. Yeah, it has to fill itself with human meat. The inside, not as dangerous, but the razor's edge, yeah, it's crazy dangerous. And the people generally, well, they could move to out here, or they could move to the inside, but instead you've got people that emigrate to the razor's edge from out here because, yeah, it's crazy dangerous, but oh, it's got just that thrill that scratches that itch inside. So why do I write so much about people being eaten? Largely because conflict is important in stories, and a pretty big conflict is I don't want something to eat me, and so these people live in an environment where that can happen. There can be conflict at any time just because of living on an unending, untamable frontier. Which again is why these people have to be much, much more cooperative and community oriented than we are out here. Because on the razor's edge, if you're not there for the community will not be there for you. And if the community is not there for you, you're going to get eaten pretty quick. You have to be community oriented or everybody dies. So thumbs up on that. I, because of the pain in my arm, have not written down a new bunch of people up here on my list. And for that, I apologize. This is just, it's not terrible, but it's enough that I don't want to hurt myself by writing. So thank you still, each and every person that has donated to my PayPal. Thank you each and every person that has donated to my GoFundMe. Thank you each and every person that is one of my Patreon patrons. Without your help, I would be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. And I don't want to be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey, so thank you. It is appreciated. Now, I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. It's never many anymore, especially on days like today. But hey, thumbs up for everybody that does leave me a comment. Oh, I got to make my text bigger so I can actually see it at this distance. Getting older is fun. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you. And yeah, I really like the game. It lurks below. It is really, really fun, and I enjoy it a lot. So thumbs up on that. Chris Ryan, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Valentina Vasquez Erato? I am nowhere. Serato. Oh, I was terrible on the pronunciation of the name, but thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Blue Toad, thumbs up, thank you. Good to see you. Jessica Himmel, thumbs up and thank you. And we have Larry from Space, thank you very, very much. 77 Art Tourist, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. The Real 1-1, who asked about people being eaten. Yeah, it happens. Flora Mew, yeah, I was worried about your absence, but I didn't feel it was really my place to go hunting you down to ask what was going on. I was just hoping that you would come back, and you did. Thank you. And Jake Stroll, or Jacob, I don't know how it's pronounced exactly, but thank you very, very much. And JAYY, thumbs up, thank you, and that is it. Absolutely, everybody who left me comments in the past 24 hours, thumbs up, thank you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. Greatly appreciated, definitely a thumbs up. The fan I have out in the hall is making a lot of noise by rattling. It is a metal fan in a metal case, and it's just making these ting-a-ting-a-ting-a, rattle, 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 chunk, chunk, chunk sounds out there. Don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's a happening, so thumbs up on that. Anyway, though, hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done. I'm going to hopefully get done at least some of the things that I would get done. I have like a spike suddenly through the top of my head. Oh, hopefully I'm not having a stroke. If I suddenly, well, if you never see this, then I've had a stroke. Anyway, though, hopefully you can get done what you can get done. Hopefully I can get done what I can get done. I'm not going to beat myself up if I can't. Hopefully you don't beat yourself up if you can't. Past that, take care in the heat. It's just going to get worse. After all, climate change, it's not something that stops on a dime. And it's going to take a good 100 years or more before we can bring it to a halt. But already down in Florida, because of the hot water, all of the coral is being bleached, which means it's gonna die. So if the temperature doesn't come down, all the coral in Florida dies, which means, well, there is going to be a collapse of an entire ecosystem, along with an entire economy, because so much of everything in Florida depends on the coral. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, you take care. I will see you. And yeah, I really should either learn to cut these down or just make it a little bit more professional. Should.